Hello and welcome to the Luv Doc podcast with hosts Waldo Wachewski and Ophelia Brewski.
Okay, let's unpack this. This week, it's less about romance, really, and much more about logistics, scheduling.
Yeah, it's all about the calendar, isn't it? The Luv Doc is detailing this conundrum faced by someone called the learner.
Right, the learner. And the situation looks, perfect on paper, great connection, but there's this huge logistical issue just grinding things to a halt.
It really is a fascinating case, actually. Instant connection, seems effortless, deep even, but the actions, or maybe the lack of action, well, that tells a different story.
Oh.
So our mission today is to unpack these six straight date cancellations. Six. And we need to figure out, using this Luv Doc, is this just two genuinely busy people? Or is it something more like a serious inability to commit?
Okay, let's paint the picture for you. Two people, mid-40s, both divorced. They meet downtown at a fundraiser.
And apparently they clicked.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Totally. The reader makes it sound like immediate rapport. Shared background, suburban Texas, similar taste in music, films.
And crucially, this shared love for a specific restaurant, Sway, the crispy chicken, the Penang short ribs.
Details. So they're texting daily. Deep talks, playful stuff. The potential seems, enormous.
All raw material is there for something serious, but
But they're basically still strangers who just text each other. Which brings us right to the core issue. The numbers.
a numerical conflict, yeah. 6 dates scheduled, 6 dates canceled.
6 for 6. That number, 60, it's kind of the anchor for the whole analysis, isn't it?
It absolutely is. We have to start there. How did this guy, the attorney, manage to go 0 for 6?
Let's break down those excuses. The Luv Doc seems to group them, right? Some get more sympathy than others.
Exactly. 3 main buckets.
Okay, bucket number 1, kids. 2 cancellations were apparently due to shared custody stuff, scheduling mix-ups, calendar clashes with the ex.
Right. And the letter writer, the learner, she also shared custody, so she got that. Or at least she understood it. That's 2-0.
Then bucket 2, social life. Cancellation number 3.
Unexpected social thing. Last-minute tickets to an ACL show, went with a friend instead.
Okay. That one maybe stings a bit more, but, things happen. Great tickets, maybe.
Maybe, but it's the last 3 where the Luv Doc really zeroes in. The final 3 cancellations, all work-related.
That perfect 0-3 streak in the work bucket, last-minute research needed, a docket issue, attorney stuff, basically, kept him late.
So you add it all up. 6-0, 6 attempts, 6 failures. 6 times something else won out over the date. 0 times the date won.
It's that stark ratio, that objective score, that leads the Luv Doc to this really intense binary choice.
No middle ground allowed here, according to this analysis.
Nope. It's got to be one of 2 things, extreme things.
Precisely. Based purely on that 6-0 behavior. This is either, quote, the greatest beginning to a love story in the history of mankind.
Meaning, fate is testing them. Some epic obstacle course.
Right. Cosmic forces at play.
Yeah.
Or the other option, he's up to something shady or psychotically unable to commit.
Wow. Okay. That's heavy. Because if you buy the fate story, you're basically signing up for, potentially endless frustration.
Exactly. We all want the romance, the destiny narrative.
Yeah.
Which is why the source says, hold on, let's get analytical.
It actually uses that phrase, stroke your chin, look up to the right, access the analytical brain, not just the emotional Toy Story 3 crying side.
Yeah, put the romantic comedy brain on pause for a second. The numbers demand analysis and the work excuses. That 0-3 run. That's where it gets really critical.
Because most people would probably give a pass for work, right?
Yeah.
Especially a lawyer. High-pressure job, you assume those obligations are, non-negotiable.
And that's the assumption that the Luv Doc challenges.
Yeah.
It's not saying ditch your entire career for a date,
Okay.
but it is saying that real commitment involves prioritizing, sometimes making small sacrifices. The Luv Doc is deeply skeptical about how unavoidable these work things really were.
The core argument being, nobody's going to die if he misses dinner.
Pretty much. Lawyering is important, sure. But if you want to be somewhere, you usually figure it out. It's about choices.
So it comes down to where you choose to drop the ball, as the Luv Doc puts it.
Exactly. It uses that legal metaphor. In the professional world, people sometimes have to drop the ball on something less critical to handle a higher priority. It happens all the time.
So if this date, this connection, was truly a high priority,
Then maybe the ball would get dropped on, say, staying an extra hour for research, just enough to make that 7 p.m. reservation.
it becomes a test of sincerity then. If work is always the reason, always the shield.
Then maybe the commitment just isn't really there behind the shield.
Holy crap. You're psychotically obsessed with the Luv Doc, but can't think of a flashy gauche way to share your obsession with the world? Stop thinking and make a beeline for the Luv Doc's home sweet home on the interwebs, thepleasurecraft.com, where you can find a veritable treasure trove of sick merch that will make even your coolest friends super gel. Honestly, I don't know why you didn't already think of this yourself, but you're welcome. Have fun on the Pleasure Craft. It was made just for you. Let me spell it out for you one more time. www.thepleasurecraft.com.
And to really hammer this home, the Luv Doc uses this amazing, slightly absurd anecdote.
Oh yeah, the Billy Joe Shaver reference. This part was wild.
It really connects the dots between, dating behavior and what can happen even in serious professional settings.
So the source mentions Billy Joe Shaver got acquitted. How does that relate?
Well, the source cheekily suggests why he might have been acquitted. Because, quote, some gastronome attorney probably missed voir dire going all in on some Penang short rib curry.
Wait, voir dire, that's jury selection, right? That's fundamental.
Absolutely critical part of a trial. The implication is, if a lawyer might hypothetically ditch something as important as jury selection for amazing food,
then claiming last-minute research is an unbreakable barrier to a desired date just doesn't hold water.
Exactly. It completely undercuts the sacred duty defense. If desire for food, pleasure, whatever, can sometimes override even major professional tasks, then the only reason it wouldn't override for this date is
the desire for the date just isn't strong enough. The work excuse is just a story, a narrative.
It circles back to that core idea. A lack of sacrifice points to a lack of real commitment to the actual meeting, no matter how great the texts are.
Okay, so that brings us to the twist. After cancellation number 6, the learner pulls back, stops the constant texting, creates some distance.
Strategic withdrawal. And what happens?
He notices immediately and doesn't just text, he texts more, starts aggressively trying to make new plans, lock down date number 7.
Interesting, right? So the avoidance behavior shifts to active pursuit the moment the attention wavers.
It suggests he really values the connection or maybe the validation, the idea of it.
Even if he can't seem to manage the logistics actually meeting, which must be incredibly confusing and exhausting for the learner.
So does the Luv Doc say, just give up or keep trying?
It's tricky. The Luv Doc basically says, look, starting 06 is objectively terrible, inexcusable, like a losing football coach getting fired.
Yeah.
But it also concedes that maybe, just maybe, this specific sequence, the custody stuff, the concert, the work things, could have been genuinely unavoidable bad luck. It calls it uncharted territory.
The Luv Doc even admits they wouldn't have the patience to get to 6 cancellations. That tells you something.
It does. It's high risk.
Yeah.
But because he ramped things up when she pulled back, there's this tiny sliver of hope. Maybe chance number 7 is different.
So, the advice. For the learner, staring down potential date number 7, what's the move?
It boils down to something pretty simple, actually. Trust your gut.
Okay.
If you, the learner, deep down still feel this guy, this connection, is worth the hassle, worth the risk of another cancellation, then okay. Let him have chance number 7.
He's a big butt.
A huge butt. This 7th attempt needs a boundary, an absolutely clear, ironclad, non-negotiable boundary.
The rule of 7.
That's it.
Yeah.
He has to know. Crystal clear, no ambiguity. If number 7 gets blown off, there is no number 8, period. End of story.
It's the final deadline, a line in the sand to stop endless emotional investment in someone who might just be unable to show up.
Right. And to make that boundary really memorable, the Luv Doc ties it back to the legal system again.
Ah, okay. How so?
Well, the law generally doesn't allow double jeopardy, right? You can't be tried twice for the same crime after acquittal. So the source argues, if you let this guy flayed out 8 times, you're essentially allowing octuple jeopardy. 8 times he gets to commit the same crime of cancellation without final consequence.
Octuple jeopardy. That definitely sticks. So no number 8, 7 is the absolute limit.
The game has to end if attempt number 7 fails. The numerical truth needs to shift or it's over.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you listening? I mean, the core message seems to be that whether it's dating or law, there has to be a limit.
Yeah, a limit on missed chances, no matter how good the connection feels over text or how much you both love, I don't know, Sway's crispy chicken.
The objective reality, the numbers that 6-0 score eventually has to mean more than the hopeful story you want to believe.
And it really shows the value of applying some objective scoring, even to something emotional like relationships. That 6-0 score just cuts through the noise forces a confrontation with the actual behavior.
It forces you past the hope and towards a more rational boundary. Okay, so here's a final thought we want to leave you with, something to chew on from all this. If someone finds it consistently impossible to prioritize something they supposedly really want, like a date with someone they click with over relatively minor logistical hurdles,
Like last-minute research or a concert ticket.
what does that truly signal about their capacity for the bigger sacrifices that long-term relationships inevitably require? Is that consistent lack of even small sacrifices maybe the clearest sign of an inability to commit, regardless of what they say?
Something to think about, that ratio of words versus actions in your own life, perhaps.
To read the column that spawned this podcast, go to austinchronicle.com/columns/the Luv Doc. There are probably worse things to do with your time, right?